Hey again, this is Carl A. Opson, your instructor for SERP 590 Single Case Research Design this spring. I can't believe I recorded these where it says spring 2020 and it's 2021. Who wants to go back to 2020? Not me. I'll change that. I'll get that updated for the next set of videos. Right now we're going to go over the schedule and course outline for spring 2021. Good grief. All right. So I have the schedule and course outline separate from the syllabus. The syllabus is pretty much just legalese stuff. The real meat is really in the schedule and course outline. If you need the university schedule, I've got a link here in the course outline. Here are the university breaks. Keep in mind that because of COVID, the university got rid of spring break as a week and separated it up into a bunch of days, and then kept a traditional reading day. I'm really going to try to take those days off. I recommend that you do too. Just don't turn anything in on those days. No instructor should be making you work on any of those days. If that happens, you're speaking to the department chair. So if that happens in any of your classes, let me know. We'll politely let instructors know that they shouldn't be making any demands of any students on those particular days. Scheduled course meetings. This is an asynchronous, fully online course. There are no scheduled meeting dates. If you want to do that later in the semester, if I hear from a number of you that you'd like to do that, or from your groups that you'd like to do that, we can do that. I could meet with a group. I could meet with a discussion group. I could meet with more than one. I could just have just kind of free for all, a couple different meeting times. We could figure something out if we want to get together and talk about research proposals, about evaluations, about graphs. We'll see what happens. I'm pretty flexible. You will be in discussion groups of 5 to, where's my hand? There it is. 5 to 6 people. I want to do that. We have 40 people in the course. You can't go scrolling through 40 discussion messages and make any sense of it. So we slimmed it on down. If you need to meet with me individually, again, I'm pretty flexible. The syllabus portion has my office number that rings through to my personal cell phone. You can get hold of me through our text messaging app. You can get hold of me through email. And I will tell you that I have a pretty packed schedule as a department head. So just get hold of me. I'm not available anytime all the time. But I'm happy to schedule you in for a time to meet with you, and usually within a day or two, okay? The pacing of the course. So, this course is self-paced. Back in the day, it wasn't even an online course. Then I went online with it, and it was synchronous. We were meeting together here at the university, and also I was teaching to some folks, I think, in Honduras. And then I turned it into an asynchronous online course, and this semester that you're in right now is like the most up-to-date version. I just revised a lot of it. So it is self-paced. You can move on. The course is set up, and the D2L is set up with a little switch that says, oh, when the student has completed all of the discussion posts that they're supposed to do for that week, and the instructor has entered a grade for all of those, then the next week will automatically pop open. That's the way it's designed. Because I've just finished redoing everything, I can tell you there might be some hiccups in that. I hope not too many. And I also, even if you get stuff done right away for week 1, don't be surprised if week 2 doesn't show up right away. I'm kind of holding off on that just to see how week 1 holds together, because I really have done a lot of refiguring of this D2L website. And I want to make sure it's not messed up before you go headlong down the road. If you move right along, you know, I'm okay if you move along faster than week by week. I don't have any specific assignment due dates, as you see in that next piece. Don't fall behind. That's really that. Like if you get behind, if you don't get things done, and you try to do it all at the end, that's going to be a problem. I've just seen that happen to people, and I'd hate to have it happen to you. So if I see that folks aren't keeping up with the week by week notion of the class, I will reach out to you and remind you, and then we can arrange something. And I can, if you've got an issue, then I can help you work through it. Okay. So this is the course outline. So this is where you'll find the topic for every week, the objectives. This is where it says resources and assignments. This is just all for my planning, right? So when I planned this new semester, I sat down and created this document to figure out exactly what resources I was going to need week by week, and that I could pull from what I had previously. So obviously the other place, you don't have to be here looking at this paper document, right? You'll just go to our tutorial website and everything is going to be up there. The objectives, every resource is going to be linked together. But for every objective, there's an assessment, okay? My minor in my doctoral degree was in curriculum design. So I'm very much an objectives and assessment kind of guy. So, for example, this week, the objectives are write a personal introduction, ask a question about the course, and after watching an introductory video about single case design, comment about what you hope to learn in the course. And that's exactly what you do in the assessment, okay? You do a discussion post, you introduce yourself, 2 points for you. Ask a question about the syllabus or course, oh, there's another 2 points. After watching an introductory video about single case research, comment on what you hope to learn in the course, another 2 points. So what I hope to do with these discussion posts is to have everybody engaged every week, and so you don't just get lost as the course moves through and we're online. So you have something to do every week, and that it's not make or break. It's not like midterm and final and you either do it or die. These are just in little bite-sized chunks, and they're not worth a whole lot of points. And they're things that I also will let you redo. Like if you don't get all the points on a discussion post, that's fine. I don't require that people that you post to other people's questions in order to get full 2 points for discussion post. I think that just leads to people making silly comments that don't really look like they're really responding to people. I'm just looking for a good solid post, and then I think responses come naturally, right? Then when you read something that somebody put in there and you want to respond to it, you'll just do it, and it'll actually be heartfelt and honest and a good response. Okay. So that's the basics, okay? Let's walk through the topics real quick. I won't go through each of the objectives. But across the semester, we're going to start out slow in this first week. In the second week, we are going to look at the history of single case research in applied behavior analysis. Single case research design, if you are a behavior analyst, it is your like bread and butter. It's like where applied behavior analysis does its research. It's the designs. Those are the designs we use, and they're also very practical designs for classrooms and for clinics. and for use with lots of patients in lots of different situations when we're talking about human behavior. Then something else that you're going to see developing across here, well, we'll get to that in a second. The next week, week 3, is basic elements of single case research. And in that one, you will read an article that was done by some experts that points out what are the quality indicators of good single case research design. I'll show you how to find them in an article, how to find all the pieces. That is the format you use to do your article reviews if that's what you choose to do for your culminating activity. Okay, so you're going to learn it really early, and you're going to have lots of chance to learn about single case design if you want to do that for your culminating activity. In week 4, then we get to something that's really, really important, and you might even want to start thinking about it right now. And we also build on it in weeks 2 and 3. In week 4, I ask you to tell me what your research question is going to be for this semester. Everybody, you got to have a research question for this semester, because when we start looking at things like recording methods in the posts, and we look at the different kinds of research designs, and we look at treatment integrity, and we look at threats to validity, I'm going to be asking you, well, what would that mean for your design? That's the only question in the discussion post. So you have to have a research question for this class. And I will help you do that. And we build it starting in week 2, right? I ask you to describe a broad area of research interest. What are you interested in? I ask you in week 3 to look for 2 articles, single case research articles, that are in your area of interest and see what they do. It's okay with me if you just copy one. If you use a research question from another article, that's how research gets done. Like, that would be researchers take the research questions that other people had and they do them again. And that proves that it was a really valid piece of research, right? It's called replication, and it's something really important. So I don't care if you find an article and you say, I'm using the same research question they did, right? So in week 4, then we get down to brass tacks, and your ticket to week 5 is having me approve your research question. So if you get it even earlier, if you think you know in weeks 2 or 3 what your research question is, throw it out there in the discussion post, and let's get you going on it and get it approved, because we have 40 people to go through here. Seen some really cool research questions, and I'll try to give you a lot of examples as we go along. Okay. So we'll talk about recording methods in single case design. If you are a behavior analyst already, if you're a BCBA, you probably know a little bit about recording methods, but we'll talk more about that. And we'll show you how they work and all the different kinds of data that you've got to record for a single case research study. Week 6 is threats to internal validity. And then again, you'll notice over here when I say in the discussion post, collect data for a specific research question, reliability and validity issues for a specific research question. That's your research question. So remember, we got to develop a research question, each one of us. Okay, it can be simple, and we'll get to that. Don't fret about it, but it is important. It's something we'll have to do. Then we'll take a break from our research question. We'll look at visual analysis in single case research, and I'm going to show you how to analyze graphic data with a pencil and a ruler, and it's actually pretty fun for those of us who are kind of nerdy graph types. Week 8 is where we start talking about the different kinds of individual designs. We'll talk about A/B and withdrawal designs in week 8, multiple baseline designs in week 9, comparative designs in week 10, combination designs in week 11. And so we'll get through all the designs in 4 weeks. In week 12 is where you will do the creation of graphs. So visual representation of single case research data, that's where I will show you videos step by step how to take data that I give you in an Excel file and turn it into a publishable graph. Week 13, we are just going to look at and read about statistical analysis of single case research. And in that week 2, you'll be working on your culminating project, right? That'll be like 2 or 3 weeks out, and you'll be working on either your research proposal or your 4 reviews of single case research articles. In week 14, I'm going to ask you to get some peer review, either of your project or some of your article reviews. So that means you would give them to one of the people you trade out with, somebody in your discussion group. They give you feedback. They don't give you feedback in the group. They just give you feedback privately, and then you report out to the group what it is you want to say about what they told you. Like, here's what I learned about when I got feedback. I need to be more specific. I need to use better grammar. I need to be more specific about particular independent variables or dependent variables, or this person had a really interesting twist on the data collection. That's all I want to know. I want to know what you learned from somebody else looking at your stuff, and how it's going to impact what you're going to do. And then week 15, you just turn your stuff in. You do your last discussion post, which is you tell me the 2 or 3 most important things you learned in the course. And that ought to be easy because you're going to learn a lot. There'll be more than 2 or 3 things. There'll be a dozen that you could talk about if you wanted to. So that is the schedule and course outline. If you want to ask any questions about that, you can ask in the discussion post about the syllabus, right? The next thing you need to do, take a really deep breath. It's a lot of stuff, but I've been teaching this for years and years and years. So everybody makes it through, and they do well, and they learn a lot, and we have a lot of fun. So I will get you through it. That's why I'm here. That's what a teacher or instructor is supposed to do, and I take that pretty seriously. So I will see you in the next video.